Am I the arsehole? Real stories, raw judgments. You decide. This story's from someone who asked to remain anonymous. I am 20 and male, and I am dating Ellie, who's 20 and female. We met at the start of college and have been dating for almost 2 years. We have a stable relationship and love each other very much. We met each other's families, and my parents and sister love her, and she is close with them as well. My parents are both Japanese and moved to the States before I was born. My family has those annual reunions, and every year a different family hosts it. This year my family was hosting it, and it was a big deal for my parents. My dad insisted on inviting Ellie over, and I was a bit hesitant, but nevertheless I asked Ellie. She was really excited and immediately agreed to meet everyone. The day came and my family from all over the country came to my house, including my grandmother. My grandmother is a strict woman. Almost everyone in my family is afraid of her. I was never close to her though. She didn't think that much of me either. I was always respectful towards her, but I think she's very old-minded and arrogant. I introduced everyone to my girlfriend, and they all liked her and thought she was cool. My mum came over and said my grandmother wanted to meet Ellie. So we went over to the backyard where she was sitting with a couple of my aunts. Ellie and I sat in a couple of empty chairs. My grandmother didn't smile or greet Ellie. She just started asking questions. She wasn't happy that Ellie was a white girl. She, in fact, directly asked me in front of Ellie
why I couldn't find an Asian woman instead.
My body tensed. I am a very short-tempered person. Ellie sensed it and quietly squeezed my hand. She was calm and politely smiled. My grandmother asked about her parents. Ellie's an orphan. Her mum left soon after her birth and her dad passed away when she was 8 years old. She was raised by her aunt and uncle, who are very kind and caring. The parents' topic was a bit of a sensitive area for her, as you can imagine. Ellie told my grandmother that her parents separated soon after birth, and her father passed away when she was young. She said that her aunt and uncle took the place of her parents and raised her. My grandmother scoffed and said that Americans have no shame and values, and said that Ellie's father was probably a drunken and her mum must have been a whore. Then she insulted her aunt and uncle as well, calling them garbage. My girlfriend had tears in her eyes, but chose to keep quiet. I couldn't bear it anymore and stood up, yelled at my grandma and called her racist and rude. Then I took my girlfriend away from the house. A few hours later, I was at my friend's place and my father called, asking me to apologise to my grandmother. I refused and said,
she should not have talked that way about Ellie's family.
Also, my grandmother never had an issue with Ellie herself, just the fact that she was white and American. So, am I the arsehole? This story's by Moth. A friend I've had for almost 20 years told me that he doesn't believe in planets, stars, or space, and that the Earth is not round. He told me this yesterday, and I woke up today feeling some type of way about it. I told him that we weren't having this conversation because I wanted to try and continue to respect him as a person, but he persisted, saying things like,
how can a star burn in a vacuum of space where there is no oxygen?
And other absurd things. I love him, but I feel like I've lost all desire to be around him, and that I couldn't possibly respect him in the same way anymore. I don't believe we have to respect beliefs like these. You can believe whatever you want, but if you start trying to tell me the world is flat, I am not going to pretend that I respect it. Am I the arsehole here? Or is this a normal reaction? Could you ever look at someone the same after finding out they have ridiculous beliefs like this? This story's by Plankton. I'm 19 and female, and my parents are estranged to a certain degree from all 4 of their kids, which besides me are 30, 28 and 25. This is in response to my 25-year-old sister, we'll call her Melissa, responding to my parents' text. So, polycystic ovary syndrome runs in our family. My mum knows this as many women from her side have struggled with fertility, insulin resistance, or even just hair growth in areas where women typically don't grow hair. My mum and our dad would constantly criticise us for having oily hair, which is another symptom for PCOS, as well as struggles with sugar cravings and weight. They kicked my sister off their health insurance when she was my age, but she eventually got into real estate and did pretty well for herself, enough to get good doctors. I mention this because before getting a doctor who understood, she'd respond to the insecurities my parents imposed about her weight. For instance, they'd pinch her fat, buy her aspirational sizes so the clothes didn't fit her, and to tell her to always eat a quarter of a portion of what they gave her, no matter what. In the end, she started not to eat. When she'd get lightheaded, my mum would tell her to drink water and fill her stomach instead of eating lunch. So, despite PCOS, she did become very thin because, again, she was maybe eating 3 crackers and a bite of cheese for breakfast and lunch and would skip dinner. She finally began gaining weight and is now at a healthy weight without needing to break her spirit and energy to maintain it. But she recently made the mistake of friending my parents on Facebook, and they decided that she's the type who gains weight in her stomach first, meaning even a healthy weight, she's 5'6" and 120 pounds, makes her look obese. So my dad reached out to her, exchanged pleasantries, and then sent her a few diet pill recommendations she could get at Walmart. Minutes pass and she sends back a link to a nursing home. It has 2.3 stars on Google and Yelp. It's even lower if you calculate the not recommended reviews, so they must pay Yelp to make them look even better. It's the worst rated in our area. My parents were in an uproar, and my mum tearfully said that she was concerned about my sister's health. But I started laughing hysterically and said it was objectively funny, but didn't think Melissa would pay for a nursing home. My mum then tried to make it about me lacking accountability for my weight. So, am I the arsehole? This story is by New Theme. I'm 35 and male, and my girlfriend is 30 and female. We've been dating for 3 years now, and recently I was promoted with my job, which allowed us to buy a home in the city. Now, my girlfriend is also working a high-paying job, and we both take care of the household chores. I personally take care of cooking and other stuff because I'm the better cook. She takes care of other stuff like cleaning and managing the garden. I have 2 younger siblings. Let's name them Magnus and Ivar. They're 18 and twins who recently joined university in my city. Our parents both died during COVID, and our family home is in a little town. So, because they're in the same city as me, I told them that they should live with us in our house so that it can save some money, and our house is not that far away from the university itself. Both of them initially refused, and I persuaded them to live with us. They both said they'd pay some rent, but who takes rent from their younger brothers? I shared my plans with my girlfriend, which she was reluctant to initially accept. She said that if they pay for the food, water, electricity and laundry, she can let them stay. Now, I'm against this and I'm happy to pick up their side of the finances, as I'm earning pretty good. It will dip into my savings, but they are my brothers. She is against this, as she says the savings are for our future, maybe a marriage in the near future. I told her that she can save a little more initially until I start taking on some side projects. She has been fighting against me since then and says that I have no right to take care of 2 more people. Now she is coming up with stories like they will use her house for parties or will hit on her as they are that age. She has not been able to listen to any reason, and having promised my brothers a place, I'm stuck in a bind. They're coming this weekend. Help me decide what I should do, or do you think I should push back harder against her for being adamant on her decision? This is the edit. Thanks everyone for your replies. Yes, it has been unanimously agreed upon that I am the arsehole, which after all your comments I also agree upon. I'm constantly messaging my girlfriend about how to improve my fuck up. The university fees are very low as we live in a European country. The only downside is that on-campus housing is very much difficult to find and sometimes very expensive. Me and my girlfriend were earning similar wages before, but after my promotion we could invest into the house. Even though my name is on the deed, she has also majorly contributed to our house. She has only met them when we initially started dating, and sometimes we have talked on a call with them. People here are very quick to say that she's going to leave you, but I understand my mistake and I'm willing to correct it. I am now willing to accept her conditions, and she also said that she overreacted because I was talking nonsense, which I agree with. They will stay in our house with certain ground rules and will pay the rent, albeit 20 to 30% less than the going rate. We are constantly in discussion with them, and I understand that it was wrong for me to expect them to live with us when they may want to live on their own. They also understand that we are happy to stay close to family and maybe focus on their studies more rather than party around. Both are straight-A students, so they appreciate the help. We are now looking at some part-time jobs for them, and they can decide what they want to do when they reach here. Thank you all once again for making me realise that I was being selfish and adamant in my ways. The Am I the Arsehole podcast is not affiliated with Reddit or any other online message boards. All the stories featured are narrated and produced with the author's permission. Please email me your stories to amithearseholepodcast@gmail.com if you'd like to hear your stories read in future programmes. And that's spelled AITAH podcast@gmail.com. You can also check in the show notes for the email. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time. Take care.